It's 7 o'clock, my dudes. Bronny's probably still at his party with his side hose.
Shameful.
I know, right? How dare he give me up for s'mores cake in the finale and side hose?
Shameful, shameful.
I know. I should kick his butt.
Yes, you should.
Totally gonna kick his butt later. The first thing I say is side hose. That's me.
Hello first. Honey dropped the unicorn, says first.
First, she wins the prize. Being a better boyfriend.
I ship it.
Yeah, sure. I don't know what they look like, but that's cool. Saturday stream is go tweeted. Nice. And let's now to link it in every chat that I exist in. Post. Oh, what was that? What'd you do, cat?
Yeah, that definitely sounds like Mac did something.
Let me go check that.
Yeah, sorry. Usually I would, but I can't.
Nuh-uh, that cat. What'd you do? I hear your ass. I see no apparent damage, so I'm guessing she didn't, like, do anything long-lasting, at least.
Okay.
She didn't open the freezer again.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, can we? I'm gonna spam it in Bronny's chat.
Do it. Do the thing.
Because he is a butt.
Clayton Johnson says, hi, sweetie. Hi, Heather. Hi.
Yo.
Luna Amethyst also says hi.
Yo.
And wants to know our thoughts on the finale. Neither of us have seen it yet.
No spoilers.
So,
No spoilers. I will fight you. I'm already trying to avoid that so hard. I'll watch it tomorrow morning, I swear. Ugh. I was almost gonna not have this stream. People showed up for their shift, and I was just like, oh, could always use more money, but I'd like a break. I'm tired. I had a 12-hour shift earlier this week, and a breakless shift too. I mean, I shouldn't complain.
No, you can complain.
I mean, I can, but
do it. Do the complaining.
ugh. I already vented, like, to my mom, and then to Bronny, and then, like, I'm just tired of repeating the same instances over and over again.
That's fair.
Just, you know, dealing with people. Alright, so, hello everybody, welcome to the stream. As you can see, we're still on that scarf. I'm switching colors up here to white. Let's see, how many rows? 3 rows of this one. Let me write that down. Freaking pen.
Alright, so let's see. Looks like Clayton has missed me. Missed you guys too.
Ah, sweet.
So Buck&5 says, would it be silly if during a Big Mac question Buck to the face, Bronny chose that moment to propose to you, Heather?
In a video? I don't know.
That's kind of cheesy to me. The whole like video proposal.
I want him to do something interesting, but that is pandering to me, and I mean pandering.
So there will be pandas involved.
Maybe.
Panda will be the ring bearer.
Yeah, we could put a panda as a ring bearer. I would approve of that. But then he'd probably be like, Heather, that's not traditional for a panda to be the ring bearer. I'm like, well, then can my nephew Luke, who loves pandas, dressed as a panda, be the ring bearer?
I like this idea.
Yeah, I love Luke. He's a cute little meatball. Love that boy.
Buck&5 also wants to know if I'm ready for Josh and Ari's wedding. More or less. I'm now actually in a quandary that I may have to change what I was gonna wear. I don't know. Well, I don't know how my leg's gonna look after this. It may not be a bare leg situation.
You know, my little sister had to get a C-section, and you know, the scar went away pretty well when they were rubbing this one thing on it. So I'll ask my mom what it was and get it to you.
Okay.
Gosh, yeah, that C-section, I still get squeamish thinking about it. Luckily, I was not there for it. I just saw the results, and I was still, oof.
Yeah.
My sister's gonna get really mad if she realizes I'm talking about her C-section on my stream. Oh, look who came down.
Decided to join us.
Came down from her loft.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, suddenly you want my love? Come on, baby. Want to come in, baby? She doesn't want to come in until I start talking to her like a baby. She's so weird. She's got a little lint on her head that's making
Yeah,
me
I know.
mad.
I'm like, sweetheart, come here so I can brush it off. It's annoying me.
But if you get close to her really fast, she backs off.
Yeah, she's gonna, and then I'll never get the lint off her head.
And it's gonna bother me forever. This child. Yes, I know you want attention because she realizes the stream is on and tons of people are gonna look at her and say she's cute.
Hi, sweetums. Can I get that little bit of lint? Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my god.
Yeah. Our OCD flared up right there.
I know. I was
Because she's like a completely black cat, and then she had this little bit of white on her head, and we're just like, get it off.
And that little bit of patch now.
Yeah.
How did she move? Like, can she do that?
Yeah.
Like, move her head there? That would be so hard for me, and I'm jealous.
Yeah. Cats are very flexible, more so than I am.
I will say, I think I see more forming because I've been digging through there looking at those pimples.
Yeah.
Freaking cat. But here we are, crocheting and chilling.
Yeah. Clayton Johnson says, I have a college assignment that's super hard to make. I don't know what is it super hard to make? What kind of assignment is it, I wonder?
If it's math and science, ask Sweetie. I'm not doing that. Not doing all that mess.
If it's history, ask someone else.
I couldn't give you specific dates, but I know general things about history.
No, I was always just terrible at history.
I liked history. It was always just one long story. I always got decent grades.
I think I don't know. I think it was the dates. I don't know. Something about history didn't click for me.
In most situations, I'm a history, English. What other classes was I good at? English was one of my strong suits. I was good at health class. I mean, I cheated off my friend for tests, but I could do CPR for a while.
Shame.
Hey, if you need CPR, ask me.
You have to be registered to do that.
I don't know.
Unless you're being talked through by
I thought Good Samaritan laws protected me.
No.
Damn it.
Unless you are like
The only person there?
No, even then. If you're the only person there and you're being walked through by a paramedic, like over the phone, something like that, then that's okay. But unless you are like registered, up to date with CPR, you should not attend it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I was at the time, like I think I still have the certificate too, of saying like you are allowed to do this, but it only lasts like
it only lasts like a couple years, I think.
Yeah, and high school was a long time ago. I should have played more video games. Oh, I remember what else I was good at in high school. Otaku Club. I know how to watch the Digimon movie during lunchtime.
Nice.
Oh.
Prime 90s right there.
Oh yeah, like I don't even remember like the entire movie. You know, the part of the movie I remember was when they were going into the Digi world and they were just soaring through a freaking portal. And like one of the Digimon is just like on a phone though, like not actually being there. And he goes like, "Hey, why didn't you guys invited me to the ride?" And one of the freaking Digimon just jabs back, "Because you're too short." And that just made the whole room just blow up. It's like, "Oh, because you're too short." That freaking character. That's the only part of Digimon I remember, and it's my favorite part. It's I don't know. I think the only good part. I tried watching Digimon, like from the first season, and I just couldn't get into it. Oh look,
there he is
here. Guess who decided to show up?
Hey, I was trying to get here for a bit, but we were at the party and Brian took forever to leave. Yeah.
Likely
also,
story.
I've been waiting here for like 5 minutes for you to notice me before I decided, hey, I'll chance it and ring and see if they see me.
And Brandon's not here either, and I know he wanted to be here. Why does everyone abandon me? Why does no one love me anymore? No one loves Heather. Sweetie's only here against her will.
It's not against my will.
I had to carry you here.
That's true. But I opted to be carried.
Yeah, Sweetie, I've been meaning to touch base with you. I heard you had an accident.
Yeah.
Unless you don't want to talk about it.
No, I can talk about it. I had a bit of a dog bite situation. At the moment.
Yeah, what'd you get bit by?
A blue and white pit. I don't mean, sorry to most pit bulls are sweet, but every once in a while you get the ones that, I mean, the stereotype exists for a reason. Every once in a while you get... The funny thing is, he was usually sweet. That's the thing. He was usually really... I mean, he was hyper. He was a hyper pit bull. But he was usually fine, and he just, like, I don't know what it was. My coworker goes in there to scoop up some poop in his kennel. And, yeah, I don't know.
He just flipped?
He was excited to have her there, and it just turned into biting. And, you know, he was trying to bite her butt, and she blocked him with her hand. He latched onto her hand. I went to get the brake stick and get him off of her hand. Then as she's trying to get out of the kennel, he latches onto her ankle. I get the brake stick to get him off of her ankle, and then he latches onto my ankle while I'm trying to get out of there. And then after that, it's a bit of a blur because I'm just, you know, I'm like, it was funny. Like, my boss is like, so who ended up getting him off of you? I'm like, I don't know. All I know is that he was off of me and I was crawling out of there. Like, I don't know who it was that ended up getting him off me.
I always forget how powerful dogs can be. Because you don't think...
Yeah, even small dogs are stronger than a lot of people.
Yeah.
Tiffany was always a beast. So feisty.
Yeah.
Now, with the exception of Chihuahuas, I haven't really seen a dog that is like... that actually... is bad by the nature of its breed, but it's just a problem of when strong dogs get aggressive. Absolutely. It's a lot more of a problem.
Yeah, there are certain like breed kind of stereotypes, I guess, and pit bulls 9 times out of 10 are just the sweetest things. They're strong. They're very strong. So like if they're not trained and they're like really energetic, even if you get a leash around them, they can like pull you. It's like, let's go, shoo, you know. But they're usually very sweet dogs. They'll also jump in your lap, you know. They're usually very, very sweet. Every once in a while you get the exception. But there are more than just the Chihuahuas, because Chihuahuas, they're my fear breed. I'm not a fan of Chihuahua. Whenever a Chihuahua comes in, I'm like, Janet, help, you know. I'm like, I don't want to deal with this monster alone. Chows are another one. Chows have a history of being very unpredictable. So, and even like chow mixes, so sometimes whenever you see a dog with like a black tongue, we'll go, oh dear. We're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not all breeds are bad. And even those, and even like the little Chihuahua demons, there are also very sweet Chihuahuas that are like, I just want to sit here and love you, you know, and give you kisses and all that. Like, there's the exception to the rule on all sides.
I've met one, like, nice Chihuahua.
And it wasn't mine.
Yours is a very typical Chihuahua from my limited experience with her.
Yeah, she can be nice. She's a little feisty because I don't think we socialized her right. I mean, we always took her for walks, but she freaks out whenever she sees someone running. I don't get it.
So we got questions in the chat here. We got people saying stuff. Buckin5 wants to see Knife on the bed.
Where is she?
I have no idea.
Where did she
go?
I think she may have left. She may have been like, you guys aren't paying attention to me. F you, bye.
Yeah, she ran off somewhere. I don't know. She's a freaking little individual.
She was mad at me because I was, from this morning, I was kind of hobbling over to the bathroom to wash my stitches, and for some reason she gets in my way. Like, she wasn't in my way, and then she goes and she gets in my way, and I'm like, Cat, you better effing move. Right, and and so I basically snap at her, and she darts off, and then like when I get back to the futon, she's sitting on her bar stool just glaring at me.
She should. Like, you think she'd be mad at me too? I mean, I was filling up food for her this morning, then suddenly like I don't see her, then she like goes a solid 2 feet in front of me because I kicked her, and I'm like, well, it's your fault.
That was her fault.
That was her fault. I'm feeding you food and I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. It was just she was just right by your foot and then you moved. It's like, well, that's your fault, Cat. What did you think was gonna happen?
That freaking cat. But she's not fighting herself. She's
Kyle Christensen says, "Evening, everyone."
Yo.
Frizz McYeet says, "I finally got here reasonably early, and high school is bad." Well, they didn't say bad, but I don't feel like cussing.
Fair enough. I actually had a good high school experience, and I know that that's atypical, but I liked high school.
Yeah, high school was fine. I had my friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had friends. I could pretend I was smart.
Me too.
So Clayton says, I love German Shepherds. They are adorable.
The German Shepherds.
And yeah, German Shepherds.
They are adorable. I'm totally with you. They're another one where the only reason they're unpredictable is actually their ears. Like, I remember I was at a training event where they were showing pictures of dogs and, like, you know, having us like, oh, is this dog friendly or is it stressed, you know? And they had like a kind of neutral face of a German Shepherd, and a lot of the volunteers like, oh yeah, that's just his sweetie pants, blah blah blah. And I go, I'm not sure. And she's like, that's the correct answer, because from first glance you can't really tell with German Shepherds. You have to sort of see them in motion. But they can be, most of the time they're very, very sweet. But they can also be, you know, we've got some German Shepherds back in RO too, so.
I like that old one. Is he okay?
Which one?
The one we saw when we were there.
Oh!
And he looked really raggedy. Oh, no.
He's probably long gone. Not dead gone, like someone probably adopted him or went to rescue or something like that.
Well, that's good then. He was a nice old dog. He looked really raggedy. He just looked like an old man.
Old man.
I love that German Shepherd. I like that old man.
Ronnie,
Let's see here. Buck&5 wants to know what a break stick is.
it's honestly it's basically just a stick. Like it's a stick that's kind of shaped. It's shaped like a dagger, but it's not sharp. It's very, very dull. But it's a hard stick that basically I got between his mouth, between him and my coworker's flesh, and I can turn it and open his mouth to get her out.
Okay. Let's see. Clayton says, I've been bit by a pit bull and my right hand was swollen for a week.
Yeah, my ankle's swollen up a bit, but...
Oh, I just saw, like...
That means it's healing.
The bandages in the trash can in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's okay. I saw it, and I was just like, oh, at least she changed her bandages. But
Yeah.
I won't lie. This stuff, like, gets me a little weak in the knees.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's why I didn't become a doctor, and also that's hard.
I felt bad. I came home. Okay, so I didn't have my keys on me when they took me to the hospital. My boss drove me home, so I was like, Heather, can you let me in? And I was still covered in my coworker's blood, and Heather's like, ah.
Yeah, in this state, I'm also kind of half asleep, and I'm like, blood's there. Do you need help? And I didn't have my glasses on either, so I just see a blur that I assume is your boss. And I'm like, did you have? I think I asked you if you were hungry.
Yeah.
I don't really remember what I said.
Yeah, you were like, I don't know, I'm gonna go to sleep and then figure out if this is a dream or not in the morning.
And then I had a dream about it, and that, like, you came home again, but you also brought the dog. And I'm like, why did you bring the dog? It's like, he's actually really sweet, and it's like trying to bite everything. I'm like, no, take it out of here. I don't. And you know what's weird? I did dream of it as like a gray dog, but as you say, blue.
Well, blue is what we call gray. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I dreamed it up. I don't know if you even mentioned that at the time, but that was in my dream, and then it was a whole bunch of other crap.
Kyle Christensen says St. Bernards are precious.
Oh, St. Bernards are super sweet. I don't think I've ever met
I went to Oktoberfest last night and I saw a St. Bernard just walking around.
Nice.
I like dogs, mostly because, like, as a kid, they made me feel very secure when we had them. I think I told you guys, like, when I was asleep as a kid, I told my mom I was scared someone would come through my window, but she's like, we have dogs, honey. If somebody ran into our yard and started creeping around your window, they'd know and they'd start barking like hell, because these dogs bark at anything. Like, all our dogs have been like that. I'm like, oh, that's smart, that makes a lot of sense. And I would always sleep easy, because I knew the dogs were there.
Buck&5 wants to know if Sweetie has ever dealt with a Great Dane.
Oh, yes. 9 times out of 10, I've never actually met an aggressive Great Dane either. They're usually they're very much gentle giants.
Most Great Danes I've met have aggressive tendencies to people that are not their owners.
Really?
Like, you got to be careful.
Wow, yeah. I've never had that. Every Great Dane I've ever met has been like, hello, I'm a giant, you will love me. It was like, just a giant pony. Very cute.
This one time when I was like one of my first jobs was I was working at a farm supply store, and people would bring in their pets all the time. Like they'd just come in with their pets. And this one time, This lady came in with a Great Dane, and that sucker came up to my chest, just standing on all fours.
Yeah.
Like, those things are big.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just started barking at me, and it was so loud. Like, it's not easy to startle me, and I got startled.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, frick.
Great Dane's got vocal cords up the wazoo, yes.
Oh, yeah. My father
Security.
told me a story about, how he almost got emasculated by a Great Dane when he was 19 years old, and he was just walking. He was just walking down his hometown there, and this Great Dane comes bounding out of its owner's yard and grabs him by the inner thigh and throws him. And my father described it as getting thrown and flying several feet through the air and landing in a ditch. And then he turned to me and he goes, if that dog had been 2 inches to the left, I would have no children.
Thank God the Lord saved your father's manhood.
Yeah. So let's see here. Kyle says, Heather, your hair looks nice.
Thank you. It's just parted. I do think I look better with parted hair. I didn't know what to do with my hair today, so I had that bun going on, but I had those spongy donuts that you put, you have a ponytail, you put the spongy donut and you put your hair around.
To make it bigger.
Yeah, and it didn't look good throughout the day. It was starting to hang and look weird, so I just took it out, and I think you saw when I came home I just had a braid again.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do something different with my hair. I'm bored with all the stuff I do. Because I've done everything I know how to do.
You should do the Snooky top bun. What do they call that? The honeycomb.
That wouldn't look good on me. I need to have,
It definitely wouldn't, but you haven't done it yet.
I want good stuff.
You should give yourself the Marge Simpson, however that works.
I don't think that's like an actual thing you can achieve.
It is actually supposed to be an exaggerated parody of a honeycomb.
Let's see here. Honey says, my Chani has issues with people looking at her butt. I don't know why.
Shawnee?
Maybe it's best we don't ask why and just respect her boundaries.
Yeah, let's see here. What else do we have? Buck5 wants to know if Knife eats treats out of your hands yet.
No, she will not do that. I think it's more of her being stuck up like, I'm not going to eat out of your hand like some peasant. Put it in my bowl.
Funny thing is, she did for me when she first moved in.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried in a while though, so she probably no.
She probably doesn't trust you anymore since the whole thing. Like, was it an actual treat or was it
an actual treat?
Okay.
No. She's never fallen for the. I've tried that. It was like, oh, here's a treat, and here's a pill pocket. She's like, nice try, B.
Oh, maybe that's why she doesn't do it anymore. She doesn't trust anything we give her by hand.
I only tried that a couple times before. I'm like, all right, woman, come here.
Yeah.
I had to wrestle her down. She was not a fan.
She wouldn't even take, actual tuna from my finger. She meows like crazy when I make tuna, but she wants me to put the can down so she can smell it and lick it and then, leave it alone. She's weird.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Clayton says, the only good thing about high school was having my best friend. I will see him on Christmas. I haven't seen him since high school graduation.
That's cool. Yeah, I've had to put some distance between me and my high school friends since I moved here, because me and my high school friends, we stayed friends, all those years afterwards, and it's only recently, I would see them ever so often, and I'm always in contact with them on Twitter and stuff like that, but these days, they're gonna have to come a great distance to come and see me, and vice versa.
Yeah, with me and my high school friends, back in the day, we used to only get together around, Christmas, because that would, everyone would come back to our hood and visit their families. These days we don't even really do that. But we did have a reunion thing where we all went to Vegas. And not all, but a good number of us went to Vegas and we hung out there. It was a 10-year high school reunion thing. I mean, there was the actual 10-year high school reunion through the high school, and then there was us getting together in our group and going to Vegas.
Seeing as I graduated from a different high school than I went to for the rest of the 4 years, I don't think I'd go to my high school reunion.
That's fair.
I know I'm well past my 10-year reunion, and I didn't even see anything in the mail, but I'm also really nomadic. There's no way anybody from my high school could have found me.
And would you want them to, really?
No, not really. Everybody I went to high school with is either dead or dead to me. Let's see here. Dreyfus Railroad Co. says, Heather, I made a character named Dreyfus. He is named after the famous designer Henry Dreyfus. I don't know who that is.
That's probably my nephew Logan and his train trivia.
Oh, nice.
Alrighty
Hey,
then.
Logan.
Buckin5 says, Heather, ask Sweetie if she would like some candy, if she wants to share some candy. I have some candy for you guys, actually. I just got back from a finale meetup, and I brought you some candy. Here's my, let me get my camera turned on so I can give you some candy. Here you go.
Oh, hey, I got some of those too.
Oh, candy corn.
And the exact same kind.
Did you know that like a lot of candy corn was like made 50 years ago?
Yeah,
No, I didn't know that. At least they have a steady stream of candy corn now.
Yeah.
You know what? I like that Brandon Rogers made the headcanon. It's like, you know what candy corn's made out of? Dildo bits.
Alrighty then.
PG-13.
Yeah. The Pristine says my favorite dog breed is Bedlington Terriers and Pumi. I don't know either of those breeds.
We had a little dog because for some reason at the car dealership I work at, because we are going to have a charity event on October the 22nd where I think it was your animal shelter is going to send us a bunch of dogs to adopt.
Really? At Subaru?
Yeah, at Subaru.
Huh. Yeah, I know we've got a big event like us, the Humane Society, and somebody else are all teaming up because we are all full.
Mm-hmm.
We are like the last day I was at work, we were getting huffy because so many people were coming in and saying, "Yeah, I brought this dog to the Humane Society, and they sent me here because they were full." And we're like, "Yeah, we're full too. We don't get. We have a love-hate relationship with the Humane Society."
But yeah, well, at Subaru we're gonna have a big adopting event. And yeah, and I'm certain it's your shelter that's
Probably.
bringing us the dogs because your shelter's closest, frankly. And yeah, some of my coworkers are tempted to get dogs or get another dog or stuff like that. And I'm trying to encourage it. I try to push your guys' agenda when I'm there. Though I will say you're going to be disappointed in my newest coworker. She had 2 intact dogs. Well, her mom had an intact dog and she had an intact dog. And made the mistake of letting them be alone. And now there's puppies. And she started out the sentence with like, "So do you guys like puppies?" And we're like, "Yeah, of course. Who doesn't like puppies? Everyone likes puppies here." And she's like, "So I have some puppies." And I'm like, "Girl, my roommate would be so mad to just hear you right now."
Someone brought us a dog from a breeder, and I was just like, no, someone brought in dogs. He was a breeder and brought us his dogs. I'm like, you have some nerve walking in here.
Was it just like, oh, I couldn't sell my dogs, so take them?
And it was like, oh yeah, I'm moving into a smaller place and I don't have room to breed them, so take the dogs because I don't want them because all I wanted them for was to breed them.
And to make money.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, you have some nerve walking in here, you little censored.
Censors.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like one of the a lady came in with a really cute puppy that was a corgi, and she was talking about, she's like, "Oh, he's just a little puppy, but I can't wait to breed them." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm glad my roommate isn't here to hear you say that, lady." A lot of the people come in, and like they're not all bred like breeder dogs. A lot of them are like cute little poodles, but I see like dogs almost every day, and it's a variety of things. And we really, if you notice in recent Subaru commercials, we're really pushing the dog stuff, like dog approved. Mm-hmm. And we're giving out, like, actually, did I show you that Subaru got me a car?
A car?
Yeah, it's right behind you. It's a car. Oh. Like, bring that as a thing on
I
top.
love how Sweetie reacts that way every time you're like, "Oh, hey, I got a car."
Oh my god.
They gave me a dog toy.
Because at BronyCon, we told her that I bought you a car, and she was like, "What?"
And then it
was...
was...
honey, sorry.
Oh, sorry, did I hurt you?
Yeah, you just poked my foot a little bit, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nah, it's all good.
Listen, it ended up being this car. I'm sorry, boss. Does not take much, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately, no.
I'll
keep that, this is the danger zone.
Have you guys ever seen a dog or cat give birth in front of you?
Yes.
Yes.
It happens all the time at the shelter.
It traumatized me as a child.
I've seen a sheep give birth.
Seen that too.
I've seen a human child get born.
I wasn't present for the actual birth of my nephew. I was there not long after, but not during the actual.
I saw my little dumpling of a nephew Luke get born, but it was a really like good birth, I want to say, because there was no screaming and excessive blood. At least my mom was like, "No, you stay over here and don't look at your sister's parts." And I'm like, "But a baby's gonna come out of it. Pretty
Right.
sure it's clinical at this point."
Too much.
But she was on good medication and it didn't seem that painful. And he like slid out of her like a baby seal. Big boy. It was so cute. He had the long blonde hair for a while, but now they cut his hair. But he was adorable.
Let's see here. I've got to clear my throat. Brawny, would it be silly if you proposed to Heaver? Okay, during your Big Mac question Buck to the Face collab.
Heaver is the
With
beaver
her.
version of me.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Don't make it weird.
I'm kind of weird.
Don't put ideas into my head.
Yeah,
let's
that'd
see
be
here.
too corny, Brownie. I don't want it done like that. Also, do you feel hot?
Not especially, but
Why am I
let's
so
see here.
prone to heat? Like the extremes of everything. Here, that'll wait for you.
Luna says, my parents are camping over the weekend. You know what that means, ladies.
Run around naked.
Party at Luna's place.
Oh yeah, maybe that too. Sure. Woo.
Clayton says, I lost it. My gosh, we're moving through this so slow. And
Maybe you should've
every
come
time I try to... You girls talk for so long.
Hold on, I got a message on Skype. It might be freaking
yeah,
Brandon.
I think it looks like
Brandon.
Brandon's here.
Get in here, Brandon. Hold on, let me get him in
So-
there. And
Clayton says, Heather and Brawny being married is a sweet dream on a beautiful nightmare. 10 points if you get the reference. I don't get the reference.
it's a song.
So,
Mhm.
wait, Heather.
What?
I'm missing the tiniest bit of context, but slid out of her like a baby seal?
Oh,
What?
I watched my nephew get born.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, one of my nephews, like my nephew Luke. I watched and I was getting a side view of it, but he just like slid out like, and I'm like,
I was
So
gonna
surprisingly,
say,
that wasn't the moment that traumatized me out of having kids. That was just like, oh, that was cool. I saw birth happen. I cried a little bit, but it was mostly just a side where like, and I'm like, oh, okay. Now, how's my nephew? He looks like a monkey. Cool.
Yep.
Torterra says, I'm a gentle giant. Torterra, I've met you. You're smaller than me, and I'm only an average size, so...
I think
I
he
don't know
means
what
his
you're
OC,
talking about.
darling.
And Torterra, I like that Pokemon.
I like tortillas.
Remind me to get tiny flour tortillas before Bronny comes over. He says he doesn't like corn. Picky.
There are, like... I could name the foods that I don't like without losing fingers on a single hand, Heather.
do it.
I'm not a fan of spicy. I'm not a fan of corn tortillas, and I'm not a fan of flan. And I think
What?
that's like
I'm not either. I'm just gonna say.
You know,
I don't know.
I've
there's
never
something about
had
it that just
flan,
doesn't attract
ever.
me. It's
What is it exactly?
Flan is basically pudding with caramel on top, and I have no idea how they don't like it.
I mean, I love caramel and I like pudding, but it just didn't, you know.
listen, anytime somebody puts something in front of me, I will try it. Okay, so there is always that. And I'm always open that I might be, change my mind or be proven wrong one of these days. I'll try it. But so far, when I've tried flan, I haven't liked it.
Flan doesn't sound like it's actually all that good.
I like the aesthetic of flan. It looks very pretty. I'll give it that. But I guess it tastes kind of eggy to me. I don't know.
Well, it's a pudding.
Yeah, I know, but other puddings give me a little bit more than eggy. I'm used to like.
Dreyfus. Go ahead, Heather.
I'm used to like puddings with flavors in it, I guess, and I was spoiled off that, and I don't like just the eggy stuff. It's kind of like how I don't like cheesecake. What? I don't like cheesecake that much.
Yeah,
I mean, I like the
cheesecake's gross.
chocolate ones you brought
I
us
like
because like it
cheesecake.
was only the aftertaste.
Ew,
It
you're
tasted like cheese.
gross.
It was mostly chocolate.
I like cheesecake if it's got chocolate with it. Like, there's definitely some cheesecakes that I don't like, but like I couldn't name them off the top of my
I wasn't
head.
crazy about cheesecake.
Just get a chocolate
Oh.
cake. At least it's not a disgrace to cakes.
I like chocolate cake. Chocolate cake's good.
Let's see here. Dreyfus Railroad Co. says, every night the cats on my street fight and they are so loud.
They do that.
Yeah, cats fight. They're territorial. Don't pick fights with cats.
No, don't.
Honey Drop the Unicorn says, Brawny, I think Great Danes just don't like your family.
Probably.
You know, a lot of weird things have grudges against his family, like mechanical objects.
Clayton says, Sweetie, have you considered dressing like Sabrina Spellman? You have the hair for it.
I mean,
I guess blonde. Is that Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
yeah, Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
That's
yeah.
what I was
Why not?
thinking.
Because she's blonde. and
Yeah,
you're
she's
blonde.
blonde, I guess. I haven't really thought about it. There isn't much to dress up like her. She didn't really have a set outfit, so I guess I'd have to drag Knife around and say it's Salem.
Yeah, you know, wear a witch hat, say it's Salem, and then
She never wore a witch hat. She was just a normal teenager as far as look aesthetic is concerned.
Oh, and we just gotta make Knife say very, like, catty things.
Yes.
Luna Amethyst says, I have no IRL for friends, LOL.
Oh, I was like that a lot in middle school too, but you'll hit your stride with making friends. Like for all I thought.
Clayton Johnson says, I realize that no one makes a male character who's very sweet and gentle and heroic, and I feel like that's wrong.
Have you watched enough anime?
Yeah,
'Cause I
that
feel like
sounds
it's an
like a
anime.
whole anime character a lot.
That's just empirically wrong, but I can't think of an example. But it just sounds so wrong.
Maybe Link?
I feel like Link. He's a video game character, but sure. But it depends on how they portray him, because he's a character that really doesn't talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, he certainly can be like kind. He's definitely heroic. I guess it's what you project onto him.
Yeah.
What about Harry Potter? He was kinda
Yeah, he was kind.
Nice.
He was kind. He could be gentle,
Mhm.
and he was heroic.
He was definitely heroic. He had a saving people thing.
Oh yeah, and A Goblet of Fire I think demonstrated it really well.
Yeah.
Because that's my favorite movie. I don't know if you noticed, but I've recorded it onto our DVR, and when I need something to watch and I don't know what to watch, I usually watch that
Gotcha.
over and over. I love that movie.
Oh, Captain America, especially from the MCU.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
I love that one.
Mhm.
God, he's kind of hot.
Torterra says, do you guys have any rare candy?
Ha 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 ha. Ba-doom.
Why is rare cat?
Because rare candy is something in Pokemon.
Mhm.
And also, you know what's weird? I had a code of ethics. I didn't like using rare candy to level up my Pokemon. Yeah, 'cause
I
I'm
felt like it was cheating.
it felt like that. I'm like, and I would say like my friend would like level up her Pokemon so fast. I'm like, are you using rare candy? She's like, yeah. I'm like, that's like putting steroids on your
Right?
Pokemon. That's
It's
cheating.
Like, oh, it's cheating. You gotta do it right.
I've heard that you leveling up by rare candy only gives you half of the stat boost.
That's
I wouldn't know. I never used it.
It might be. But oh my God, Spoon, what
One
are
of
you
my
doing?
brothers told me that, so I don't know.
He's so weird.
And I never played enough Pokemon to find out. So let's see here. Clayton says I love Brandon Rogers, and I don't know who Brandon Rogers is.
Oh, that's the YouTuber. Remember, he's always doing the gross stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I know that name. Yeah, I don't like Brandon Rogers that much.
You don't like nothing. But yeah, I like
He's
Brandon
got-
Rogers. Really funny.
He's got some okay bits, but
It's mostly.
Is that the guy that made that like time travel video that we watched?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He plays most of his own characters.
Yeah, the especially like the British couple.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Oh dear, I seem to have spotted.
Yeah. I was gonna try and
Okay.
quote that, but I'm like, man, that curse word goes a bit far for our boundaries.
Well,
I'm gonna get demonetized because I was monetized.
Well, all we have to do is sexually identify as Australians, and it's no longer a curse word.
Because that was so funny the first time.
Let's see here. What else do we got going on? Buck5 says, I really hope the next generation of MLP does not disappoint. Friendship is Magic was perfect. I agree.
I don't know about perfect.
It was pretty good.
It was good. Perfect is an exaggeration, though.
Definitely one of the best shows to ever come on.
One of them. I can think of a few shows I like a little bit more than My Little Pony.
Avatar: The Last Airbender is always going to be top tier for me.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
None
Let's
of my
see
ships
here.
in that one became canon.
Yeah, all of mine did.
Dreyfus Railroad Co. says Henry Dreyfus designed the Dreyfus Hudson for the New York Central Railroad. The Dreyfus Hudsons lead the 20th Century Limited between New York and Chicago.
Nice.
Fascinating.
We got Clayton and Luna having a role-play fight in the chat. I'm just skipping over that.
Probably good.
Yeah, let them fight. Tell me if Luna wins.
Sweetie, do you get trick-or-treaters?
Well, here's the funny thing. I've never been home for the entire day of Halloween. Last Halloween I was working. This Halloween I'm going to be in California for a wedding. So, I think so. Last year I left a bowl of candy out on my, on my porch. It didn't look like there was too much of a dent in it, so I don't know. There are a lot of kids in my apartment complex, though.
Oh yeah, I was walking by one today, like I was holding the bag of McDonald's I got you, and he just goes, McDonald's!
Is this the one downstairs?
Yeah.
Those kids downstairs are freaking adorable. I think they only speak like a little bit of English, and it's so freaking adorable.
He
They're
speaks
like,
a little bit of
"Hello."
English, and the one word he knows is McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's. Well, no, hello. I remember like he and his sister would just say hello to me over and over again because I think it was the only English word they knew, and I'm like, you guys are so cute.
It was funny though, because I was like, is he gonna ask me to give him some? But he just ran off because he was wet. I think he was playing in the pool.
Oh.
He just likes McDonald's, and
He
when
just likes McDonald's. Yeah.
he's a boy, likes his
What
McDonald's.
kid doesn't like McDonald's?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
actually,
true.
I didn't like McDonald's as a kid, so I shouldn't talk. But that's not the point.
I just hated it when they put onions in my burger.
See, I didn't like chicken or hamburgers, so there was nothing on the menu that appeased me.
Oh, it's a good thing I offered you the McNuggies, but then I ate them.
No, I'm okay with them now. When I was a kid, I was far pickier.
Kyle Christensen says, was the whole staff glaring at that breeder the whole time? The breeder that came into your work?
Glaring at in his line of view? No. Bitching about him behind the scenes? Absolutely.
Like, as soon as the door closes, the
Yeah.
whole place just goes, that son of a...
That's exactly what we do. I hate to out us, but that's exactly what we do. People will be so horrible up at the front desk, and we have to, like, just put on a smile, and then we go behind the desk, close the door and go, this son of a bitch!
Girl, on that, I think most jobs, we can agree we all do that. Fast
Yeah.
food, receptionist. Oh, we go back to
See,
bitch about stuff all the time.
That's why I don't get hired most places, because I don't deal well with that kind of attitude by choice. Because if I'm working that front desk and somebody cops an attitude with me, I will Loki slam them. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Ugh.
Just by the ankle,
That's why
left,
I'm not recommending
right,
for the
left,
receptionist job.
right,
It's gonna be a lot
left,
attended.
and back.
Oh, and slam. Oh, two. That's it.
Let's see, what else do we got? Battleship Agincourt says, really sad to see Friendship is Magic end, yet the general quality has gone way down. First of all, how dare you? I wish they had made more episodes with background characters as the stars. I do not. I think those couple
That's
we got.
fan pandering. Come on, the show is essentially about these 6 characters, and 6 is a lot of characters to be delving into. And yes, we've had a lot of seasons, but there's also a lot of supporting characters that are related to these characters. You can't get everything you want. You're lucky you got what you did with like Slice of Life and all these other ones.
Well, he follows up with, seriously, how many stories can you tell about just 6 main characters? And I could actually come up with
Dude,
more.
you can give
like,
each one a season.
There's a lot more I could have done with just the characters that we have, and we've had a lot of characters beyond that. Let's see here. Torterra says, give me the squeaky toy. I will go get it and not give it back, and yet I would want to throw it again.
You know what was super cute? Like, you know how like the Powerpuff Girl was sticking to it?
Uh-huh.
They also have like little bikes and canoes you can put on top of it, because that's an Outback, I think.
Right, yeah.
And Subarus are just known for being
Outback.
for sporty people.
Well, it's SUV. They specialize in SUVs, and really good SUVs that last long. That's why I was like, man, I'd love to be able to afford a Subaru.
Yeah, I'll see if I can hook you up with a good salesman one day.
That'll be in like the next 10 years. I intend on keeping my Kia for quite some time.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea. Maybe I'll look into it once I get that license.
Hopefully in 10 years, though, I will be making enough for a Subaru. We'll find out.
And maybe you could trade it in. If you don't,
Oh, I will be trading it in. However, it'll be 10 years old by that point, so who knows how much I'm going to be actually getting for it.
You keep it in good condition.
Honey drop. Honey Drop the Unicorn says, I had to recently ghost a couple of friends because it was very much like Trixie and all bottled up and I was like Starlight. Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah, that's never fun.
Did you
Don't
try
do that to
communicating
yourself. Yeah.
like what you were angry about?
That's really the key. Like, if you're angry about something and you're not letting them know, it's not only unfair to you because you're torturing yourself with that anger, it's unfair to them because they don't know what they're doing is making you angry. They don't know to change their behavior.
Yeah, and I get it's easier said than done because sometimes you want to let things go because you're like, maybe this isn't as big of a deal as I'm thinking. Maybe I should just like get over it. But then it'll reoccur. It happen a lot more often, and you gotta say something at some point. I know it's hard, but you gotta.
Dreyfus Railroad Co. says, I'm planning on making an N-scale layout based in West Virginia and Ohio. The other half is in the desert of Arizona, and I have no idea what he's talking about.
Trains. There's probably a railroad.
Who is taller, Heather or Sweetie?
Sweetie. I'm the short one of this group, and that pisses me off. I'm average. You're all freaks.
Yeah, that's true.
How's the weather down there?
How tall are you, Brandon?
I'm like 5'9".
Damn it! I hate all
Clayton
of you.
says, it's ironic that Brownie doesn't like corn, and yet he makes corny jokes.
But
That's kind of a corny joke in itself.
yeah, it is. Yes.
Yeah. You know, people, whenever I go visit my friends in Tampa, they give me cans of corn. Did I ever tell you guys this story?
Yes, but tell the stream this story.
Okay,
Corn.
so it all started the first time I went homeless.
It all started when I was born.
Oh yeah.
So,
Born
so
a hobo.
right, like the first time I was out on the street, I had, and I moved out of the apartment and had nowhere to go, and the roommate that I had gave me all of his canned food. So I was kind of rationing that out for I think it was a few weeks, maybe a month, and then one of my friends down in Tampa found out the situation I was in and said, "Nah, forget that. Come down here, and we got a spare room." So I went down there, and by that point, I had gone through almost all the cans. Like I ate the ravioli first, and I ate all the mixed vegetables that I liked first. You know, like and all that I had left, because I hadn't touched it because I didn't want to eat it, were several cans of corn. So I move in, I put all my stuff in that room, I stick the cans of corn under the bed, and I save it in case I ever need it again. Later on, like several months later, I moved back to New York with my family, and I leave the cans of corn behind. I just forgot about them while I was packing. It had been 6 months. So then that, and this is, I call them my Tampa family. So the family is cleaning up in there. They're like getting rid of a bunch of stuff that they had been storing in there, and they look under the bed and they find like a box just full of canned corn. And they're like, "What was Brawny doing with all this canned corn?" And it became the inside joke. And so now every time they see me, they give me a can of corn. They
Like,
give me a
is
can
it
of corn.
even-
I don't even like corn, but they're like, here's your corn for you, and I'm like, oh my god.
Look,
Wait, why don't you like corn?
like, is it even like the like new cans of corn, or are they giving you back the cans of corn that you left?
No, they give me a new they give me a new can of corn. I mean, I've been over there several times. Any corn that would have been left, I think they said they ate it, but whatever. Let's see here.
Wait, no, I take offense. I love corn.
It's like that Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Every time I go to Tampa, they're like, "Gentlemen, I bring you more corn." Let's see here. Dreyfus says Union Pacific 4014, which is the largest train in the world, is coming to Tucson on the 17th to the 18th.
Ugh. An event with trains. Logan, is this your way of saying you want to come over?
Yep. Let me see here.
He's just a little preteen boy. He's cool.
Clayton's in timeout because he keeps messing with me.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm
Yep.
getting sweaty behind my knees.
I don't feel like dealing with it anymore. Let's see here. Have either of you ever seen Kiki's Delivery Service?
I love Kiki's Delivery Service.
Here it comes.
Actually,
I've never seen
I
it.
have seen that.
I haven't
It's just a
seen
thing.
You and Ghibli, you need to catch up.
You look, maybe if you had the Blu-ray collection, I would.
I know. I don't have any of them.
I guess we'll have to put that on our list of movies to watch while I'm over there.
Damn. Wait, we
so
gotta get
just
him through the whole Harry
recently-
Potter series.
Oh yeah.
It actually to watch Kiki's Delivery Service, because I don't really watch movies. It actually took me a lot of motivation to sit down and watch it, but it was pretty good. I like Studio Ghibli Productions.
Mhm.
I tend to find them as acid trips. I haven't
the
yet
point.
seen it. I haven't seen a
I still
Ghibli movie
haven't-
yet
Kiki's
that I've
Delivery
enjoyed.
Service is less of an acid trip than some of his others.
Yeah,
I've seen
It's far
I've
more
seen
Western.
Howl's Moving Castle. I've seen Ponyo, and I've seen Spirited Away, and I didn't
Those
like
are
any.
all like top tier acid trip films. Kiki's Delivery
All right.
Service is very Western, very grounded.
I
And
will say I
apparently,
did see all
apparently,
five.
I've got to see Princess
One of the
Mononoke
worst
too.
ones, but okay. Yes, you
Aw.
do need to see Princess Mononoke.
I liked
It's-
it.
Ponyo is one of the worst of his films, but okay.
Aw.
Princess Mononoke is more of a trip than Kiki's Delivery Service, but less than Spirited Away.
All right. Do you think that Knife would eat any human food if you gave it to her?
No, I've tried. I offered her a Pringle once, and she did. She just sniffed it and was just like, "I don't want that."
Honey Drop the Unicorn says, "How I Made Friends, Harry Potter and Anime Club."
Sounds about
Yeah, I
right.
did both those things too.
You dirty nerd, you should have made your friends through the bronies like a normal person.
I did that later in life.
Yeah, that was a college thing.
Yeah, like
Did
college
either
where
of
I
you ever
experimented.
fight?
Oh my.
Yeah, bronies
Did
were the
either-
experiment.
Did either of you ever fight or catch a missing no?
A what? What's the last part?
A missing no. Did either of you ever fight or catch a missing no?
What's a missing?
I think it's a
Missing
Pokemon.
It's
no.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Brandon.
a missing number.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
was
caught
gonna
some of
say,
those.
if
I
I'm getting it
did.
correct, it's kind of like some typically inaccessible jumble of code that kind of messes with the game, or like crashes it, right?
Oh no, wait, I'm thinking of like you know those Pokemon that are eyes, but they're supposed to like make letters.
Those are called something else.
Yeah,
Those
okay.
are the unknown.
Those are
versions.
unknown. I know that much.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, I never caught
Missing
that one.
No's not technically a Pokemon. I think it's just a jumble of code.
Yeah,
No.
and I
let's-
don't know how you access that. I think you need like old cartridges of the game, and I just have Pokemon
Neat.
Yellow.
Let's see. Buckin5 says, Brawny, do you have to pay tax on money you get through YouTube?
Not yet.
I
I think
don't make money on YouTube. Okay. No money, I don't make.
I think the policy on Patreon is that you don't have to isn't it? You don't have to report it unless it's over $600.
$600 a year, yeah. If it's over $600 a year, then you have to report on taxes. Other than that, the IRS gives no cares.
Moving on. Do you girls enjoy The Legend of Korra?
I watched the first season fully, and it lost me at the
Yeah.
they had me at the first half. Well, we're not gonna lie, but it ended on a tone. I'm I didn't like any of that, and then I just didn't keep up with it after that. But I'd see plot points about it all the time, and it still would be stuff I didn't like.
I think I was talking to someone about this at some point, but I think what poor Legend of Korra suffered from was being compared to Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is just unfair. Avatar: The Last Airbender is an amazing show, and Korra, if you were to separate it completely, is an okay show. It's an alright show, but everyone was expecting it to be its predecessor, and it just wasn't.
Well, there's no reason not to. It was made by all the same
No, I
people.
know. No, it wasn't actually. A good number of people left.
Oh, really? The storytellers? Because no, educate me here. I really don't know. I thought
I
it was
don't
all
know
the same
which.
people.
I don't know which members of the cast stayed and which left, but
I'll give it this: all the flaws I saw with Korra were in the plot. The animation was still good.
oh yeah,
art
the animation
still
was
good.
amazing. Yeah,
The characters were
The animation,
pretty okay.
I think the animation was better.
it was better. Yeah, I would
definitely
actually say it
was.
was better.
It was great. So that some of those aspects were really good. Aesthetically, it was still good. The plot is where it would fall completely flat, and the characters were pretty decent at best.
Yeah, they were eh.
Like
But the whole
I didn't
show
like
was just
any of the
eh.
characters. I didn't like any of the characters, and I'm sitting there watching it like I'm supposed to root for these terrible people.
Yeah, like,
basically.
you remember that love triangle at the beginning? That was
Yeah.
a mess.
Yeah.
Just a mess.
Yeah, that drove me.
From what I understand, and I didn't watch the whole series either, but from what I understand, there was a whole bunch of romantic nonsense throughout the whole thing. I'm just like,
There was
Yeah.
this thing that happened with Korra's cousins who were like weird twins, and one of them dating like the funny guy whose name I can't remember. That's how Bolin, I think his
Bolin.
name was.
him I liked.
I kind of could get into it because like it's cute that she has somebody she likes, and I think she actually has a conniption about it later. But I don't care enough about one ship enough to watch the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm gonna read this question. We're not gonna give any spoilers, and then I'm gonna hand it off to Brandon to pick up where I left off because I need to hit the restroom real quick. So if you've seen it, and without spoilers, Filmerbrony22 says, "Hi there, everybody. Did you guys enjoy the MLP finale?" I'll say that I did.
Have not seen it. No spoilers, guys. We have not seen it. We're busy.
Take it from there, Brandon. I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Alright. Megan says, "Hey, I've got lists of Halloween movies that are not scary. Addams Family, The Munsters, Halloween Town, Hocus Pocus, Are You Afraid of the Dark, and classic 90s and 2000s movies.
I loved
What do you guys
Halloween
think?
Town as a kid.
I don't think I.
Halloween Town? It's funny, that's
It
actually
was kind of
the
like,
name
it was a hit or miss with people.
of a-
I don't know. If
No, I haven't seen it. Like, I feel like it may have been after my time or something.
Yeah, like I would recommend you watch it only to see if you like it. I kind of liked it. It was more goofy than anything.
I love Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus is my staple for Halloween.
Well, who doesn't?
It's
love
not
it?
Halloween unless you watch Hocus Pocus.
Indeed. I have my favorite scary movies though. I'm not like most people around here, I guess, but I like to watch scary movies on Halloween
I don't.
and Friday the 13th.
Scary movies bore me.
Everything bores you. What's cool though, you know my favorite horror movie, Trick or Treat, at the Spirit of Halloween store, they have like a mannequin of like the main scary kid that you see on the box. They have like hangers of him too, so it's a cult classic for a reason.
That's fair. That's fair.
You gotta go to the Spirit of Halloween that's next to my work. They have like this walk-in thing that's for like a spooky aquarium, I guess, and you see like giant tentacles. And there's a part where it's like the great white shark and it comes and just smashes into the
Screen.
yeah. It's obviously like digital stuff.
Mhm.
Like if they did animatronic with that, that'd be really impressive.
Yeah.
But it did kind of like get me on edge. But anytime I go somewhere in a Spirit of Halloween, I get slightly on edge when it's in a corridor. And I'm like, okay, what's gonna frick with me this time? Even the animatronics will creep you out. But I love animatronics. As soon as I get a house, I gotta get some of that.
Nice.
Bucket5 says, Pokemon should have sold rare candies in real life for people to buy/eat.
Steroids.
Yeah.
And also, don't you know that
Sure.
rare candies are Pokemon? Like, think about it. In Pokemon, like, I love the theory
Yeah.
that game theory came up with. Or maybe they just cycled it around, because whatever. But, like, they, like, you see, every time you transfer a Pokemon to the professor, he gives you a candy for that Pokemon. And people speculated, I think that's more than an exchange. The candies are Pokemon! And there's even a comic where he just like, okay, I'll take your Pokemon, and you just hear stuff in the background, and it turns out he's just putting the Pokemon in a blender or something. That's messed up, but yeah. It seems like rare candies and Pokemon candies are just Pokemon matched up in candy.
Megan says, I didn't have any trick-or-treaters last year. Consider yourself lucky.
Remember back in the day where trick-or-treaters were kind of like, and I wasn't even born in this day, back when trick-or-treaters not being around was a godsend, because if you had trick-or-treaters you had to make sure you give candy to all of them, because then they'd egg your house.
I think that has less to do with a time frame and more of a neighborhood thing, I guess. I don't know. I've never had that problem.
It's like a Halloween
it's
cliche.
something. Yeah, it's a cliche that I've never experienced in my life. I mean, it must come from somewhere, but
I remember I TP'd a house once, but only because my mom told me to.
what the hell?
I don't know,
What?
my sister was like part of a spirit group or something, and this was like a prank initiation thing for somebody. And my mom's like, Heather, go help your sister and her friend TP a house. And I'm like, but Mom, I don't wanna. She's like, get in the car, honey, we're TPing a house. And I'm like, ah.
What the hell?
And then I was just like, let's just do it like Halloween decorations, and I did it around a fence. So I don't know, I guess it was cool. I did a lot of weird stuff
that's
under my
like-
mom, like, encouraging me. Like, it was weird, like, of course, obviously when I was legal, like, in my early 20s, which I still kind of am. I'm 24. But she was just like, you know, it wouldn't be bad for you to look for an older man in maybe in his early 30s. And I'm like, Mom, that's a bit much. And she's just like, no, honey, they're just more mature. They'll probably treat you better. And I'm like, Mom.
And they have more money, is the theory as well.
I suppose, but I'm like, Mom, stop.
I remember
Just
one.
gotta say, that's 200% parenting right there.
Oh, yes. My mom's all about that.
God.
Encourages me to
God,
do
dear.
weird things. Oh, she was also telling me, like, it was the most innocent conversation. Oh, this new place opened up called Big Al's. It's like Dave and Buster's, but more adult-orientated or something. You and Natasha should go. Meet a nice guy. Maybe you should have sex. And I'm like, what? And it's like, Heather, I just think you should, like, open up and, like, have safe sex with somebody so you have experience or something like that. And I'm like, Mom.
No.
I know. It was so weird. Because then, like, you know, when I started college, she was against me having birth control. But now, suddenly, it's just like, I think you should, like, experience it from different people. Because I think that's what traps your sisters in relationships. They have sex with one person, they think that's the world, and they get up in all this mess. I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's other factors.
I'm pretty
Don't
sure there
think
are a
it's-
lot of other factors.
Don't think it's sex, exactly.
Yeah, I don't think
Unprotected
sex is a
sex,
problem.
maybe.
Yeah.
That's a problem. But, Mom...
I don't think it's the singular partner that's the issue.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of problems there.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
Ronnie, you're
closest,
back.
the
He doesn't have
closest
his
I
headphones
ever got, I remember when I went to college, my sister was like, if you get pregnant, I raise the kid. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what do you expect me to get up to in college?
Oh, most like
Ronnie-
the stuff everyone else does. Because I did get free birth control from a clinic there.
No, I know, yeah, they would do that. They would hand out condoms and shit. And I'm like, I'm good.
Cool.
Bro,
Oh,
Where's
did it?
our...
They offered me condoms, but I said, I just want birth control to regulate my period. And they're like, would you like some condoms? And I'm like, no, I'm okay. Are you sure? No, I'm okay. And they give me a pamphlet about how to put on a condom.
Okay, so when I went to the hospital the other night, they asked
Ronnie,
me
read a comment.
several times if I was pregnant. And I'm like, no, I'm not pregnant. Like, are you sure? I'm like, yes, I'm sure I'm not pregnant. Because we're going to take an x-ray to make sure they're, like, the dog's teeth aren't in there before we sew it up. And the x-ray can mess with things. We have to make sure. I'm like, okay, what part of no, I'm not pregnant is not sinking in? Like, do I have to spell it out for you? We are in St. Mary's Hospital.
I'm not
okay?
gonna
Can we
lie
talk
under
about Immaculate
Jesus.
Conception, right?
Where did we leave off, Brandon?
Okay, so I was about to read the comment from Christine about she said, I remember asking my mom once why she didn't like onions on her burgers when she liked onion rings.
Mm-hmm.
That was where I left off.
I don't
Alright,
like
I have
either of
no
those
idea
things.
where that is.
I feel like I was like that as a kid, actually. I didn't like onions on things, but I liked onion rings.
You
I
know
went
what?
out of my way to get onion rings.
You know what
I
was
hate
weird about my
onion rings,
nephews
though,
with
but-
onion rings, like CJ and Logan? Like, Logan would eat the skin of, CJ didn't like the skin of onion rings, so he'd slurp out the onion and give the skins to Logan, who would eat them. And I'm like, that is the weirdest thing.
That works.
It was kind of gross to watch because it's like he's slurping up a worm or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ew, what the hell?
I think for me, it's like when I was a kid, I don't mind onions in any form now, but when I was a kid, I liked cooked onions, like caramelized onions. Those were the best. But when you had raw onions and something, then I was like, nah, no.
Not a fan.
Yeah, not a fan.
Wait, does that mean I'm a kid? I'm 22 and I only like onions caramelized.
Yes, you are a kid.
I'm a big kid
Ooh,
now.
gaga.
I'm out of yarn.
Megan McGonigal says, my brother got into a car accident with my grandma's car and now she's trying to get a new car.
Oh, fun times.
Isn't that the story of my mom has had that story. That's how our red truck got ruined because my stupid brother Daniel crashed it and junked it.
Pristine says, Heather, I'm 5'3". How tall are you?
5'4". Oh, finally. Finally. You know,
Let's see
my
here. And
manager
she has
already...
a cousin that's 4'11".
Wow. Well, I'm taller than them too. You know what's
So,
funny? My
drive
manager
this-
Artie is like a buff dude, but he's also a short dude, and I'm like, man, and I didn't notice for the longest time because I'd be sitting down whenever I talked to him, and I'm like, and I stood up once, but I'm like, hey, is Artie shorter than me? She's like, yeah, Artie's pretty short, and I'm like, I couldn't tell. He was just always on top, above and very muscular, so I thought he was big.
Mhm.
Dreyfus says I'm 4'9".
Yes, short people come to me, worship me.
Irish Prince says I'm glad that it feels like fall now. No more heat.
Ah,
I'm sweating.
actually, the funny thing is, like, you will hear, it's like, man, it's so nice that it's cooling off now. We're only in the 80s. So nice.
Yeah, that's what people at work say. They're like, oh, we're gonna go into the 80s today. And I'm like, this is nice for you?
Yeah.
You're living in hell!
That doesn't sound like hell to me.
Kyle wants to know, what are we working on, Heather?
Working on a scarf that's like a gradient. We got black, gray, and white. It's gonna be just a regular striped patterned scarf. It's gonna be a Christmas gift to Bronny's dad.
Aw.
Yep. DJ Skywalker says I'm disappointed in your corn hatred, Bronny. Well,
So am I.
I don't hate it. It just like I don't want to eat it by itself. I gotta eat it with other stuff.
He likes candy.
Could you imagine
Always
just like,
different
and
corn
I have no
combinations.
problem with like corn on the cob, especially if it's been grilled and seasoned, but just plain corn out of a can. I'm gonna avoid that if I can.
You know, I haven't had like corn from a can in a while, unless you count like the jalapeno cream corn that I've been having at Denny's. That's the only time I've eaten corn down here.
Buckin wants to know if I've ever lost my voice from yelling. Yes, I've lost my voice from yelling a few times.
I nearly lost my voice at a Ninja Sex Party concert. It was the best.
Megan McGonagall is 5'2".
Oh yes, my followers are just full of short people.
Iris Prince says my second favorite dog breed is Golden Retriever.
Golden Retrievers are pretty good. Very rarely will you get a Golden Retriever with behavioral problems. They will, however, have hip problems when they get older.
What problem?
Dreyfus says, come down, try some corn, or we will sacrifice your newborn. Okay.
Good thing he's not having those. Unless they mean knife. Knife, run!
Shady Oak Ministries. Oh, hey, Shady. How's it going?
Oh my
Says,
God.
hi to Kyle and DJ, too. Those are my guys. Shady Oak Ministries says, what about Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind?
I
don't know
love
what he's talking about.
Nausicaa so much. Nausicaa's one of my. It's like, I won't say it's the best. It just appeals to me. Like, it's very much here, have a film just for you type of thing. You know, like, I won't say it's the best film ever, objectively. I love it.
Have a film. It's yours.
Is there kissing?
You can do what you want with it.
Oh.
Filmer Brony says Spirited Away is one of my favorites.
Still only seen half of it. I'd always watch, like, we'd always start it at an anime club at school, and we'd get through half of it, and then lunch would be over. And I'm like, can we start it from the half we left off on? It's like, nah, people in the last meeting didn't get to see the beginning. And I'm like, damn it, I'll never see the end of this movie. That's the one I really want to finish.
Christine says Howl's Moving Castle is my favorite movie of all time.
It's pretty good. It's pretty much one of the only Ghibli films with kissing in it. So there you go.
That's the one I was interested in because I saw a clip where they kissed. I'm like, whoa, anime kissing.
He doesn't do kissing a lot. Like, he'll do a lot of romance, but it very rarely gets to kissing. There's one movie, Whisper of the Heart. I love Whisper of the Heart too, but as I was getting towards the end of the film, the main characters basically agreed to marry each other at some point down the road. You know, they were young, so they're like, obviously, when we have our lives together, do you want to get married? It's like, yeah, and I'm like, you're not gonna kiss, are you? And then the credits rolled, like, Miyazaki!
The Japanese just love to tease. The teasing Japanese.
They will, like the thing about the Japanese, they'll get engaged before they'll kiss. And I was like,
I know that's not how it works in real life. Don't you lie to me.
right?
You
Well,
wanna
it might
do
work that way in
rude
Japan.
things like holding hands, don't you?
Or something.
Yeah, damn right.
I
You know
guess-
when you
I
get
guess
here, you
their
know what I'm gonna
nickname-
do? Minute fingers. How do you feel about that?
Hey, Bronny, I'm about to be generous and give you a pun. The Japanese.
I love it.
Okay.
I
Moving on.
respect
Kyle Christensen says, taxation is theft anyways. I don't fully agree, but the way, like, taxes are being used more often than not, like, there's a ton of, just in general almost everywhere, there's a ton of just mismanagement and or corruption. So
By the way,
it's not exactly
I
going to
wa- I
what
was
it's
able to
supposed to
actually
be going
watch
to
the
most of the
Bear
time, on
Trump
top
Bear
of taking too
commercial
much
with-
to begin with.
audio, and I still don't know if it's a parody or not.
It's hard to tell.
It's so
It's
hard.
like either a parody that's really selling into itself,
Damn it,
or someone who's just that ridiculous.
I really don't know.
I
at this
can't
point.
tell. Yeah, I mean that's the problem with America today. I can't tell which is a parody and which is real life.
I was like, is this satire? I'm just
Is
not
this satire
sure.
or real? I don't even know anymore.
I think it was
It's
on Common Sense
pretty
or
easy to
something.
figure out if you know how. Let's see here. Let me see. There's a conversation going on in here that I sort of missed, and I'm like catching up in the middle of it, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Pristine says, "Sorry, sweetie, I hate Hocus Pocus because of the kids. The witches were fun, but the kids were just bad."
They can be annoying. You know,
The kids were kids.
kids are kids.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say my favorite of the kids. My favorite character is the younger girl, the actual kid. The boy is annoying, but he's annoying in the same way most teenage boys would be. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna show off for my girlfriend and do something stupid.
And be a virgin who lights a candle. Everyone made fun of him for being a virgin in that movie.
I never like it was. Yeah, it was weird. They're like, oh, he's a virgin. I'm like, he's in high school. He should be. Like, what the hell? Like, I feel like that was something where they should have aged him up a little bit, where he was in college or something, and then they can make fun of him for being a virgin. But it was like, a virgin lit a candle. I'm like, he's 16. He better freaking be a virgin.
That candle was pretty badass. They said it was made from like the belly fat of a
The
hangman.
fat of a hangman. Mm-hmm.
That's creepy and gross. And the flame was like black.
Yep, black flame candle.
The Gorna says, "Weekly reminder that onions are evil and the kidney stones of Satan."
Thank you.
Yeah.
We needed that.
Honey Drop the Unicorn says, "Onions give me the hiccups."
That's a weird
That is
side effect.
Yeah, that's an interesting reaction.
Shady Oak Ministry says, "When Brawny comes out and we all hang, do I have permission to put my elbow on top of Heather's head and take a picture because I'm 6'3"?
Only if you show me with a knife underneath about to shank you for doing that.
Yeah, Shady, I love you, man, but I might have to tackle you."
How tall is
Oh.
Shady? Is he like ridiculously tall?
He just said he's 6'3".
Damn, I will freaking climb to the top of you like a tree and engage in combat. No. Stop.
Oh, let's see here. Bigorna says, "Can we all agree that the best movie of all time is Shrek 2? Get out, Bigorna."
I
You
like
know what-
Shrek
you know what?
too.
It's
Shrek 2 is
so
okay.
funny.
It's not the
I
best
was-
movie of all time.
It's a movie. Puss in Boots.
I was talking about this with my little brother, and he actually thinks that in terms of Shrek movies, Shrek the Third is the best one. I actually think that's the worst one, and I actually think out of all the Shrek movies, if you have to watch one, watch 2.
The first Shrek is the best of the ones that I've seen. I saw Shrek 1 and 2. I did not bother with the third. Yeah, I think the first Shrek movie is better, but it's only mediocre.
Mediocre.
They're all
It was
mediocre.
the shit.
I know. I
when it
don't
first
know why
came out.
Shrek is such a gosh
It's
darn
just
meme.
Shrek 2 is the least or the most subtle mediocre.
Like I said this on Twitter a few weeks ago too. It says, because Shrek was largely forgotten about, and then in 2014, that Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life video came out, and it became a meme. And then I was like waiting. I was like, cool. I'll just wait for this to die because it's the most retarded thing ever. And then it never died. It
Memes
outlived
never
the
die.
Shia LaBeouf meme, and the Shia LaBeouf meme was actually good.
Wait, first
I don't-
off,
I don't
why
s-
aren't we using the term mediocre? And second, are you cuddling a car?
I'm cuddling his car.
Okay.
I don't see the Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life thing anymore.
You see other stuff with Shrek.
Well, because of that, Shrek became a meme again, and it's been like the most prevalent, undying meme ever since, and I hate it.
I
It just
literally
bugs-
have not seen it.
It's like every fifth meme that I see on 9gag and Memebase and
Oh, there's the
iFunny,
answer.
Tumblr and Twitter, and it's just driving me nuts. Everywhere I go, I just see Shrek, and I hate it. Let's see here. Shady Oak Ministry says hashtag Japan tease. Let me see. Pristine says, Japanese are so formal. I never got a kiss in Magic Knight Rayearth, and it's why I started reading a lot of fanfics on that anime. First of all,
That's what
they're
you
too
need.
young. They are too young in Magic Knight Rayearth.
I don't even know what that one is.
Magic Knight Rayearth is a clamp anime that was much better in the manga. The anime stinks. But the funny thing is,
I love that first opening song though.
Oh, the first season of the anime.
Izuru Negai. That's
Oh, yeah.
a really good song.
The first season of the anime was passable. The second season was awful. Was absolutely awful. Like compared mostly to the manga. Like the manga was so ingenious and in depth, and the anime is like generic romance. Yay!
Buck and Five wants
knew
to
the
know
fan
if
base was
Sweetie
thirsty.
saw the sequel to Hocus Pocus in book form.
I heard there was a sequel. I didn't know if that was true. Technically, for Hocus Pocus.
Shady Oak says, I'll make you both foil weapons to charge me with. Shady, no need. I'm actually going to be bringing some swords.
We won't use them in the apartment.
I don't mind swords.
Oh, I'm just afraid that we'll break something.
Oh,
Particularly my TV.
yeah, and be careful with it around knife. But
I'm gonna bring my my Glock and my revolver, right? And we're gonna do some target practice in the apartment there.
So you're literally bringing a gun to a knife fight.
That's a stupid thing to do, and also, knife.
That's the joke. Let's see here. Buck and Five says, Heather, stretch time.
Oh yeah, you're probably right.
He also says he would like to see the kitty.
We said, we don't know where she is. She's gone. Investigate her
hiding.
space when she wants
Rest
to
in
have
peace.
space. Oh, I'm serious though. I'm hot.
Shady Oak says Shrek 3 is literally the second without substance.
kinda, yeah.
I just gotta
I guess
say, I
so,
love
yeah.
the freaking I Need a Hero cover. It was great.
Yeah, that was.
He also
That was pretty fab.
He also says there is absolutely no such thing as dead memes, and I highly disagree.
No, he says
My
there are
favorite meme
absolutely
will never
such
die
thing
for
as
me.
dead
Oh,
memes.
okay, yeah. You're right. I had a dyslexic moment. Pristine says the first Shrek movie was meh to me, honestly. I know people liked it and poked fun at fairy tales, but I hated that it did that because fairy tales were so important to me and I'll always love them. That's because you got, like, that Disney complex. Like, you gotta break the supposed to do it. It was supposed to break people of their Disney complex.
Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not
Disney
a
doesn't
trace
love you. Disney doesn't love you, and you shouldn't love Disney either.
I'm in love.
Disney doesn't even make good movies.
I could believe her if I tried.
I couldn't leave her.
I can leave. I always make up the lyrics. I never look them up.
I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her
I
if I
thought
tried.
love was more or less a given thing. Seems the more I gave, the less I got. What's the use in trying? All you get is pain. When I needed sunshine, I got rain. And then I saw her face.
I like that song.
Battleship Agincourt is making a fourth wall breaking joke. Because Filmer Brony says, I'm breaking the fourth wall, aren't I? And Battleship Agincourt says, I don't see any walls around me to break, let alone 4 of them.
Ah.
I think I'm missing context, or I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah.
Well,
Shady
well.
Oak says, I'm going to record a Bible study on the season finale now. God bless, guys. Have a pleasant evening. Ooh, yeah, I can't wait to see that.
You too.
That'll be cool.
Bye.
Let's see here. Sweetie, did you enjoy the new version of Fruits Basket?
Yes. Although,
Alright.
Mine was not in season 1 for some freaking reason, but that's my only complaint.
I gotta
All right.
finish season 1.
I
Shit.
should
Holy crap.
make an adaptation of Fruits Basket. I'll bet you I could do it perfectly.
No, you could not.
You don't know what we love.
All I gotta do is take the manga as a storyboard and not change anything. It's easy.
That was sort of the whole point of them making a reboot. Is like, we're finally gonna finish the freaking story.
Yep.
I never knew about the hat thing.
Hat thing?
Yeah, like in the first.
Oh, the hat thing. Yes.
The hat thing.
Mhm.
Like that wasn't prevalent, and like, cause like in the first season of the
older iteration. Like, I had no idea who she was supposed to end up with till the end because she seemed to get along more with Yuki.
Yeah,
than she
I was
did with-
shipping her with Yuki in the first anime.
Yeah, I was too, but then I like look it up and it's like
Yeah,
no, she
then I
ends
read
up
the
with
manga and I
him.
go, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I get it. Like, and that's probably a good thing that they fixed that. It seems more even now, and it's like implying that there's more going on with her and him in the past and stuff like that. That, like, okay, you're setting it up more appropriately now. I still kind of ship her and Yuki a bit more.
I know, I like them more. I think because I like the gentleman type of character rather than the I'm gonna punch through a wall. But I know that's
Yeah.
your type, you know.
Freaking Kyo's an idiot. He doesn't make it hot.
There's a way to make that hot. What?
Yes.
Ronnie.
Yeah, it's called me.
Oh, he's kind of dumb
Alright,
sometimes,
then,
but you know.
Ronnie.
That's true.
Let's see
I'll get
here.
with that.
Pristine says, I love both the manga and the anime, honestly. There was more Furio in season 1, and I have a crush on him, so yeah, Fu and Furio fan here.
Oh yeah, OTP. But I liked their relationship better in the manga. There was a lot more. He was far more deceitful in the anime. In the manga, he was more like, oh, did I not mention that type of thing. Whereas in the anime, he was actively like lying and being manipulative and underhanded, and I just didn't like that.
I like their relationship far more in the video game. I think the video game was the perfect adaptation of Fruits Basket.
I know what you mean.
We're not talking about Fruits Basket, dingus. We're talking about Magic Knight Raiders. Keep up.
Okay. Let's see here. Shady Oak says, Brawny, I'll bring my wooden sparring swords and challenge you. I don't know if he's still in. He might have gone to do his recording, but if he is, I'm wondering if he's got bokens or if he's got like European style swords. Because I'm bringing polypropylene bokens. Let's see here. Pristine's calling me out. Says, I love fairy tales before Disney, Brawny. Okay, sure. I do believe you. I still don't like Disney.
Fantasy.
Let me see here. What's a good one to go by here? I'm almost caught up to the chat, which feels good. Heather, have you ever heard the song "I've Got Some Falling to Do" by Lemon Demon?
No.
Your suspected nephew asked that. Okay, let's see here.
My son. Yeah, I haven't. I have not. You can forward it to me later, dear.
Bigorna says the 4th Shrek movie is underrated as heck.
Yo, I actually saw that in theaters, and I didn't like it. It's not that good.
I heard people like the things they used.
No.
That like the beginning was cringy.
It was so bad.
I don't think I ever saw the
Let's see here. We might not want to answer this question on air, but Buck&5 says, do we have a wedding gift for Josh and Ari yet?
I have reached out to I've reached out to see if I can find. There's a particular wedding gift I want to give them, and I had to undergo very awkward social interaction to see if I can get it. I don't know if I will. Is my answer.
Then he says, Brawny, do you think you could use nunchucks properly? Yes. Short answer, yes. I think I'm halfway decent at nunchucks. And then he asks again because nobody asks more questions than Buck&5, I swear. He says, Sweetie, could you do a pogo stick?
Not right now. I can barely walk.
I could never do a pogo stick
Well-
because I was just like, man, I'm gonna fall off. I don't know how to even start.
Yeah, but do you know how to do a pogo stick? Like, if I give you a pogo stick, are you gonna fall flat on your face?
Not flat on my face, but I'm probably only gonna get a couple bounces in before I stumble.
Can't believe that was a toy people would play with.
Pristine says, Fruits Basket first anime, I kept flipping between Kyo and Yugi. I did slide to Kyo at the end of the first anime. This is how you do a love triangle right, though.
Yeah, it's a pretty good love triangle, honestly. It keeps it interesting, it keeps it different, and you really are like, who is gonna get together? I don't even know.
Yuki OTP boy. He's like gentlemanly, but it can also kick ass. And with less effort than Kyo, he's just such a freaking vision.
Yeah.
My boy.
I like Yuki better. Which is funny because I usually don't like the pretty boys, but I do like the gentlemanly type, you know?
He's gentlemanly and he's not necessarily proud of being girly.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole dress debacle.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Men look great in dresses, let's be fair.
What do we think? What do we think about Panty and Stocking?
I like
that
Panty
show?
and Stocking. It's just a vulgar anime that's funny.
Yeah. I've never watched it because it's a vulgar anime, so.
It's more my thing than anyone else's here.
I watched one episode and I wasn't digging it. I didn't enjoy it.
It's definitely not your type of show. It's a show that's for me.
Oh yeah, you'd hate it. You'd hate it, Bronny. You would hate the heck out of it.
I've seen.
It's just
clips.
so blatantly sexual and
Yeah.
like just ridiculous. Though Bronny, the voice of Haruma shows up as like a ghost possessing a car and gets panties stuck on his face, and the first thing he does is like, oh, panties, and then licks them, and then she's like, oh, what the hell, I don't want to put those back on now. It was hilarious. Best episode.
That does not sound hilarious.
It's the best, especially since it's Haruma's voice doing it. Can you just like hear it in your head what that sounds like?
Yeah, and I don't like it.
And of course he made sound effects when he licked him.
Honey Drop the Unicorn says Melon Queen is greater than Lemon Queen, and I have no idea what she's talking about.
I don't know either.
Bigorna wants to know if I have any favorite European swords. I'm partial to, like, okay, so I like small swords, and I like Polish sabers, especially curved ones. What else do I like? I like hand and a half swords, and I like hand and a half swords. Like, I want something to be about 40 to 43 inches long with a 10 to 12 inch handle. I would like to try messers, but I have not tried a messer yet. So I probably lost Heather and Sweetie and Brandon with that, so I think that's all I'm going to say on it.
I mean, I'm mildly intrigued, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, I think weaponry like that is kind of cool, actually.
All right. Well, okay, so I'll tell you then. A small sword. Do you know what a rapier is?
Heard the name. I don't know if I could point it out if you showed me or accurately describe it, but I've heard the name.
Okay. Have you ever seen actual, like, Olympic fencers?
I have.
Yeah, okay, so what they're using is modeled after a small sword. It's meant to be held in just one hand. The handle just is supposed to barely fit in your hand. It's supposed to be about 20 to 30 inches long in the blade, and just very, very skinny, because all you're going to do is poke someone with it, right? But like it's not a poke that they're going to survive kind of poke. So there's that, and I know a bit about those, and I know a bit about sabers. And sabers resonate with me because they're very close to katanas, which I have the most formal training in. But they're one-handed, so it's interesting about sabers because they're the same length of a katana. They're the same overall length, but there's more blade, so you can hold it and swing it one-handed, and it actually gives you a longer reach than the two-handed katana. Just for the way that you posture. Now, hand and a half swords are a little bit longer than katanas, but have the same proportions, and they also have the tactical advantages of the cross guard. So those bars that come out the sides of the handle, those things have a lot of tactical advantages, as well as the pommel, which is the bottom of the hilt.
Does that help the swords handle better?
It helps them handle better, and it also helps you a lot defensively. You can, if you know what you're doing, you can essentially turn the sword and have it double as a crowbar and a baseball bat, depending on the situations that you find yourself in. Now, messers, messer is just the German word for knife, because the way that they're constructed, they are legally, under the technical terms, a knife, but they're very big and long, and it's like one of those. It's like I don't have a modern equivalent offhanded to do it to, but it's like they defined a sword as being built a certain way, and then a knife is being built a certain way, so they would make this sword, but they would assemble it like it was a knife, and then it technically counted as a knife because civilians were not allowed to carry swords. And it was just kind of like, okay, so the way that they're designed is that they're short swords, one-handed, but they have a three-pronged crossguard. They've got the crossguard, and then they've got the nail, which comes out over the knuckles and gives you a lot more hand protection. And those are really good for close quarters. They are like, if you have even a little bit of defensive and tactical capability, they're really good at closing distance on longer blades, which is very hard to do, because usually if somebody's got a reach advantage on you and they're of equal skill, then you're at a serious disadvantage. So there, I haven't a messer yet, but I've wanted to, because I'm halfway decent at something called Niten Daitoru, which is basically using two Japanese swords, wielding a katana in one hand and in your offhand using a wakizashi. And using messers is very similar in mechanics.
Swords are
Similar
neat.
mechanics in what ways?
In the way that you would fight with them. But European martial arts and classical fencing actually resembles wrestling a lot more. Like, it's swords, but you're also throwing each other around, and it gets pretty crazy.
Ronnie, you have to do the Savage now. Now you brought up wrestling, you have to do. Oh, I always forget his name.
Randy Savage.
Randy
Macho
Savage.
Man.
Yeah.
I don't do a good Randy Savage voice. I wish I did. Ooh, yeah! Watch me step into a Slim Jim. I don't know.
Oh man, I should have
can't.
picked up a Slim Jim.
That sounds a bit more like Iron
And
Will.
I see the girls on the stream here, just like, oh my God, would you stop
Nerds.
geeking out about swords? Let's see. Dreyfus says, I'm doing a bike unit in physical education, and some guy pulled out in front of me, and long story short, I flew face first into a fence and hurt my stomach and destroyed my crotch. Ow, that sounds bad.
Yeah.
I actually have experience with that.
Buck&5 says, would you agree with me that a good sword for Heather would be a rapier? No, I don't agree. I think she would do better. Now, rapiers are surprisingly heavy because they are long as heck and meant to be wielded in one hand very far distally away from your body. So it's actually they're very heavy to wield when you distribute the weight like that, even though they're like only 3 pounds. So I would give Heather a long sword. I would give her a long sword, or I would give her an arming sword, which is about 30 to 40 inches long and then meant to be wielded with a heater shield in the offhand. That's what I would do.
What's my perfect sword?
I don't know anything about you, so I don't know.
Master sword.
Let's see here. Pristine says, when the first anime ended, I'm assuming we're still talking about either Fruits Basket or Magic Girl Night.
Magic Night Rayearth, first of all. And second of all, yeah, it must be Fruits Basket, because Magic Night Rayearth only got one anime.
Yeah, and she said, when the first anime ended, though, I did literally say, hey, where was my sign? I'm a rooster. I have no idea what she's talking about. Educate me.
So Fruits Basket, part of the whole thing is that there are people who represent the signs of the Chinese zodiac. And yeah, so when the first anime ended, here's the thing. The anime started before the manga was over. And so the anime just sort of ended and it just sort of left us hanging. The curse was still a thing. There were several Zodiac members we hadn't met yet. Like, it just sort of was like, the end! And you're like, no. And also, like, the ship, you didn't know how the love triangle was going to turn out. And they just sort of was like, okay, we're done, bye. And you're like, no.
You're not done.
You're not done. Unless so everybody who was a fan of the anime had to pick up the manga to figure out what the heck happened.
Oh, geez.
Or Google it.
But yeah, she says I am so hyped for my sign to show up. Let's see here. Buck5 wants to know, sweetie, what's your perfect sword? What kind of sword do you want to use, sweetie?
I've got a metal keyblade.
And a
keyblade.
lightsaber, if that counts.
That's not. I don't like keyblades at all. Like those things are dangerous to the user by their design.
They are.
Oh yeah.
They absolutely are. Like anytime I try to wield it around, like the chain just smacks me in the head.
Yeah, sweetie, when I come over there in a couple of weeks, you want to play around with swords with us? Because I'll be bringing some.
You're assuming that I'm gonna have free time, but if I do, sure.
Hey, Bronny.
Right. Yep.
What tunes do cows enjoy? Music.
I love it.
Why
No,
did
you
Honey,
don't.
drop the
Why did
Don't
the
lie to
singer
me, Bronny.
bring wipes? Because he didn't want to wipe out.
The surfer. I heard
Honey
singer.
Drop the Unicorn says, Brawny, could you do videos on different sword types? I could, but I don't think I will, because other people have already done that better than I ever could. Buck5 wants to know if I prefer a slashing sword or a thrusting sword. I like both. I want to have versatility. I don't want to get... Plus, all swords can both cut and thrust if you know what you're doing.
Oh my.
Yeah, and then Pristine is asking me about claymores. Yes, and says they are huge. Yes, Heather found a picture of a guy holding a claymore the other day and sent it to me and said, "Is this guy a midget or was the guy that was using the sword was a giant?" It's like, no, claymores are sometimes called Zweihanders, are just supposed to be 6 to 7 foot long swords that are meant to keep people very far away from you. Let's see here. Have you seen the show Rapunzel's Tangled Adventures?
I've seen clips. People tell me to watch it.
Yeah, people tell me to watch it. I haven't gotten around to it.
Put it on.
Juanita Lopez says, Heather, the gang says hi.
Yo, Juana! That's one of my high school friends we were talking about. Thanks, Papa.
Clayton says Hannah is the best character from Fruits Basket. Yay or nay?
I'm trying to think.
I mean, I won't say best, but good character.
No, I'm trying to remember. I can't, like, sometimes I forget
Oh,
the names.
Hanajima. She's the goth chick with the
with the vibes.
the electricity waves.
I like her.
I really like her.
I like her just fine. I want to know more about. Well, the character that I really want to know more about is Toru's mom and her father and their relationship. That's what I'm really interested in, because it seems like she used to be a gangster and then she settled into being a working mother. And I'm like, how'd this happen? How did this guy swoon you over? Like, because I assume it was the husband that swooned her over into a more
and yet at the same time he seemed to respect her. This wasn't like a Grease situation where she had to conform to his ways. Like, he respected her past and she just relaxed.
Did they ever go over that in the manga?
Not that I remember.
The chick, the writer of Fruits Baskets has to give us a separate manga on that, because I gotta know. I know that her father got sick and that's why he's dead, and I know she was like in an accident. So I know why she's alone, but I'm really interested in the parents of Toru. And I assume she resembles her father more than she does her mother.
Yes.
Let's see here. Okay, got a few things we're gonna hit real quick here. Brawny, do you need a permit or license for your swords? In most states, no. In some states, they're banned, but here's the thing, and here's my mentality on that. The right to keep and bear arms changed. So, even if it was, screw them. Let's see here.
Unless it's in a public place, then you have to sort of
put that away.
Yeah, adhere by their policies. You know, like most conventions will not allow you to bring...
Yeah, and there's no reason to bring a live blade into a convention, you know, there's
Exactly.
especially when we've got things like aluminum tape. Have we ever heard of the anime The Black Lagoon? Oh my god, I hate that show. It's one of my favorites, says Buck5.
Heard it, never watched it. I'm with Heather.
It's not good. It's not good.
It didn't seem like
Louis
you were
said-
Louis,
Sup,
I thought my stream sucked.
Honey Drop the Unicorn says the creator of Fruits Baskets and the anime people hate each other. That's why they ended the first anime the way they did. Christine says they do cover the backstory of Toru's parents in the manga, so it's going to be in the new anime.
Sweet.
Ooh, I can't wait. Because you know that's something
Hey, kiddo.
like, I wouldn't be, oh, hey, did someone want attention? Did someone want attention?
All right, Clayton, take it, or not Clayton. Brandon, take it from here. You've been kind of quiet tonight. I've been hogging all your attention.
No, sorry, I've just been tired in general, but Bucket5 asks if you own any of the seasons of Friendship is Magic on DVD. I assume that's for everybody.
No, because
No.
why do that when I can access it digitally and they have it on Netflix?
You can say that about most anything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mostly just get movies that like I would used to buy DVDs because I'd see them in the like at a reasonable price and I was interested in watching them. And I like getting a DVD just so I can always have a solid copy of the movie, just in case I don't know the internet apocalypse happens and we have to go back to them or something. Or if I don't have internet, I can still watch it. What is it? What do you want? Are you hungry? You can't be because I fed you.
Dreyfus says, when I draw, I wear a skeleton clothes so I don't get graphite on my hand.
Do you want soda?
Is graphite messy?
It's that stuff from your pencil.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really.
No touch. No carry.
I don't really
Only
use the
text.
pencil to such a degree where I would need to worry about getting
No,
graphite
I
on
don't
my
think
hand.
Thought I heard it, but it wouldn't be out of character for her.
No, it would not.
Freaking cat. Sorry. We're really distracted by the cat.
Bucket
How's the
5.
scarf coming along?
It's going great. We're on the middle section, so we're halfway there. Oh, we're living on a prayer. Take my hand.
Make it, I swear.
Oh, we're halfway
on a prayer.
Sorry, I don't know the songs.
Barely.
I start them, but I can't finish them. What is it?
Bucket 5 wants you to pick up the kitty.
We
can't,
tried.
We can't. She hates that. She wants it on her terms.
Yep.
She's a big baby. Do you have like a little white splotch right there? Was that there before?
Possibly.
Clayton asks, will Ouran ever get a proper adaptation?
Ouran? I hope so.
I hope that comes back.
I would love for a remake of Ouran.
We still have a freaking fan base for that.
Hell yeah, we do.
Did it
And
not
Silverquill
get
still
a proper adaptation?
needs.
What
Ouran
was
fell
wrong
into
with what you've got?
Ouran fell into the same category as Fruits Basket in that it ended before the manga did, and it had a satisfying ending. Like, so you didn't feel quite as gypped as you did with Fruits Basket. With Fruits Basket, there were just too many things left unanswered. With Ouran, they kind of wrapped things up. They sort of were like, yeah, you know, the end-ish, you know, but there was more to the manga.
Yeah, and there's a lot more that you wanted to know. Like, you know, they did expand on the families a bit. Like, not so much on, freaking Hikaru and Karu's family.
Mm-hmm.
But we did get a bit on, a little bit on Kyoya's. A little bit on Tamaki's. And my friends back in the day would say, like, you remind me most of Tamaki if I had to pick just one of them. And I'm like, I dig it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be Tamaki. You ever notice that cosplayers for the characters chicks lust after the most are always cosplayed by other chicks?
Usually.
Because the boys won't cosplay as our heartthrobs.
I know, right?
Why won't you guys dress up as the people we freaking thirst for? I want to look at a cosplayer of of husbando I have and not feel weird about it because it's actually a chick.
Right? That's what's
It's
always
like,
conflicting.
oh.
I'm like, oh, but he has boobs now.
It's
and,
like, oh, it's Kyoya, but oh.
oh, but he's like a size double D, and that's
It's like, lady, you're filling me with confusion. I'm gonna contemplate my sexuality.
Hey, girls. It's a trap!
Shut up.
So Bucket 5 has 2 questions for Sweetie. First one is, would you do a stream where you crochet alongside Heather?
I haven't crocheted in a while. I'd have to actually get a crocheting needle again.
I got a literal bunch of them. You can borrow one. Like, I have this little pouch filled with them. This is just my Afghan needle that I really like. I crochet a lot of stuff with it because I like using it. I guess it's the length and the little thing at the bottom. I don't know why I like that.
That's fair.
And the second question is, have you ever
Have you
heard
seen my
of
yarn box?
Restaurant to Another World?
I'll show you.
Have I ever what now?
Have you ever heard of Restaurant to Another World?
Heard of, not seen it.
I haven't had any exposure, so I don't know what that is.
So, I've watched a couple episodes of Ouran High School Host Club, and I definitely didn't like it. So what's the deal here? Is it any good, or like on a scale of 8 to 10, how trash is it?
It's pretty good. It's more of a satire of typical reverse harem animes, but it's definitely not for you. It wasn't made for someone like you. It was made for people like Sweetie. It was made for chicks, obviously, and it was made for chicks who like certain tropes and like seeing them twisted up a bit, and just like some moe stuff.
Moe. And it's there's a lot of like fourth wall breaking, humor of that, meta humor, that type of thing. They very much play up. It's very much a parody of a reverse harem than a genuine reverse harem.
And
yet taking itself seriously at the same time.
Yeah, and it's very lighthearted. And I like when you look at Ouran High School Host Club, I thought I would be like overwhelmed by how much of the color pink is around, but I actually adore it. It's like a rosy pink everywhere.
Yeah.
Kiss, kiss, fall in love. I think I actually remember the words. I see you come, I watch you go. You never seem to leave me go. That's the English ones. I can't do Japanese words.
I was gonna say.
So is this love or hate? I find I really don't mind.
So Clayton.
I lied, I don't remember. I liked it when they did some stuff in English dubs, because then I'm like, oh, I can know these words.
Maybe you're my love. A
hand like yours can take me sakura kiss. Maybe you're my love. I also liked the outro too, and like some anime would just like, instead of having like a weird thing, they would just have like really good detailed art at the end. And I always love that, because like, this doesn't take place anywhere in the show, but it's nice.
But it's pretty, yeah.
It's pretty. I did also like the outro to School Rumble. You ever watch School Rumble?
Not too much.
I liked it because it was another goofy anime.
It was
but
goofy, yeah.
It wasn't plain. It was obviously not a satire.
It wasn't a satire, yeah.
But so it was very goofy.
It didn't quite mesh with my sense of humor, so I was like, meh. Like, I get what it was trying to be, and I was like, yeah, not for me.
Yeah, it's like Bronny, like, he couldn't get into it, obviously, but he can't get into much of anything. But he could agree that Harma was kind of him.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then the point where Harma got bald because some chick shaved his head, and Bronny's like, oh god, it is me!
I did not want to be Haruma, because Haruma's a freaking idiot.
I see no difference.
Yeah, your point?
He is very unlucky. He's the unluckiest guy in the world, who is also like a troubled artist. Who likes making manga. Bronny, there's just too many parallels.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, Clayton has a question for Sweetie. Was the Alice in Wonderland episode better in the manga or anime for you?
I liked
it. If we're talking Ouran, I have no idea, because I'm the type of trash where when I watch an anime and it's clear that the manga keeps going with the story and I want to know more about the story, I'm the type of trash that will pick up the manga where the anime left off.
Oh, yeah.
So, know, because I didn't read the beginning of the manga.
What was your favorite episode of Ouran High School Host Club?
It has to be, I think it's episode 25, where a certain somebody finds out about a certain somebody's gender identity, and
That was one of the first ones.
Yeah, and all the moe of all the girls going, oh my god!
I like. Oh, you're talking about the one with the juvenile delinquent, isn't it?
No, not the one with the juvenile.
Oh, the
delinquent.
first ones though, right?
No, it was one of the last episodes with the guy with the dreadlocks.
Oh no, he wasn't a juvenile delinquent, but everyone thought he was.
Oh, yes, everyone thought he was a juvenile. Everyone thought that he was like a mob boss, basically. Yes, him, yes.
I like him a lot too. I like how we found out. It was hilarious.
Yes, it was hilarious.
And then it's like everyone thinks like,
like his first episode when he first comes in, it's a very normal episode. It's like, oh yeah, they're helping out this guy, blah blah blah. And then at the end of the episode, he finds out Haruhi's secret, and the episode that leads after that is just a whirlwind of hilarious chaos. It's just
because he likes Haruhi.
He likes her, and then Tamaki's having an identity crisis. Poor Kaoru's having an identity crisis. Girls are going nuts about the yaoi. You know what?
It was so delicious. I did like that one too because I was thinking about that one.
That's absolutely my favorite.
I do kind of also like the episode where they go to the beach.
The beach episode?
Mostly because the part with Kyoya in the dark room
stimulated... Oh, that's what you like?
Stimulated a lot of high school brain, okay? Leave me alone.
Your high school brain likes assault?
I knew he wasn't gonna. He was just being aggressive. It was kind of hot. Leave me alone.
Heather has the weirdest tastes in everything. Like, she's just wrong so often.
No, it was funny what, like, my friends... they would talk about I didn't really have a heartthrob in the cast of Ouran. I liked them as characters, but I didn't like them, like, oh, he's my husbando type of thing. But all my friends did, and they were like, oh, you must like Kyoya because he has glasses, and I have a thing for guys with glasses. I'm like, yeah, but he's a jackass.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He's a jerk. Like, I'm sorry, but there's only so much glasses can make up for.
I know.
He's an absolute jerk.
I just liked that scene where he's over her. Me and my friends are watching it together, and when he does that, she's like, "Yes, take me. My body is ready." And I'm like, "I know."
What's wrong with you people?
I don't know. We were weird. That's our whole thing. We were weird.
That's the thing. He basically threatens to sexually assault the main character in order to make a point about gender roles.
And then she's just like, "You're not gonna do that."
Yeah.
Shit. And he's like, "No, I'm not."
It doesn't affect her because she's like, "You're full of it," She's like, "Oh, you're not gonna do anything though," So that sort of makes it better, but that still doesn't mean I like the character because I do not, or like that scene. What the?
I also liked the episode Kyoya's Day Out because it revealed he's a lot he's a lot more like Tamaki and the others than he cares to admit. Mm-hmm. And it shows that he's a nice guy underneath all his bullshit.
Yeah.
And you clearly see why he has his bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. You start understanding his complexes and all that fun stuff. You definitely
understand.
Hey
guys, we're within the last 10 minutes.
Yep, we're 8 minutes left. People, 8 minutes left. Any last minute comments, questions, or concerns, state them out, or forever hold your silence until the next stream. Thank you. Ooh.
Fucking 5 says, would you make fun of me if Ouran was my first anime?
No.
I like that, Black Lagoon, Another World with my smartphone, and Restaurant to Another World. None of those are any good, so yes, I'm going to make a whole lot of fun of you.
I'm not.
The only thing is you say that Ouran was your first anime, and that just simply says to me that you are young and I am old.
Yeah, because most people's first anime was either Digimon or Pokemon. Like, mine was Pokemon.
Yeah, Sailor Moon. But even then, sometimes I'm like, there's
anime
and then there's anime.
I thought a lot of people were into Naruto or something as their first anime.
There was still
Naruto
costumes at Spirit of Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Naruto's still a thing.
Did Naruto get a revival or something? Because I feel like it came back after a lot of silence.
Well, I don't know if it had a revival. I know there was like a second season. Like a second show.
I thought Shippuden was the most recent revival.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
no,
Naruto just never
Boruto. A real man's first anime is Speed Racer.
There's no anime that makes you a man.
This
He's kind of right.
Thank you, Brandon.
When I was growing up, they were just coming out with Speed Racer.
trying to see my pattern. 4 rows.
Let's see here. Bigorna says the thing I like most about the anime is the variety, from something like the Legend of the Galactic Heroes to Ghost in the Shell to stuff like Gintama and Bobobo. Holy heck! Okay, so I've seen a lot of really funny clips of Gintama, and I've kind of wanted to watch it. But even though Bobobo has one of my favorite songs of all time, like unequivocally, holy frick do I hate the fact that show exists.
Yeah, I would just see things for Bobo, and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch that, but it looks.
That was the same way. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch that.
You know, I've watched it, didn't like it, and I think at one point I might have had the first issue, but I don't know where it is now.
Like, I use the Bobobo theme song, "Wild Challenger" by Jindo as the intro to my YouTube series. But God Almighty, do I hate that show!
Is that
I'm dead serious. "Wild Challenger" by Jindo is one of my favorite songs of all time. Why did that song have to be associated with that show?
Well, you gotta you just gotta take a little to get some back, Bronny. You had to get Bobo if you were gonna get a song that good.
I'm a very hard and starving wild challenger.
I do like that anime is a very diverse medium, because I can state a whole bunch of animes that are my favorite, and they're all so very different. From stuff like School Rumble and Ouran to things like Death Note and freaking what was it? Secret Journals or Future Diaries. That's what it was, and those are very gory ones.
Right.
I really like those. And there's not even any shipping in them. Well, I don't know. Future Diary has that whole yandere thing going on, but I'm not even into that. I just thought it was very interesting. Oh, and Code Geass, which is very just plot heavy and driven. So different yet so great. I can't believe Code Geass is on Netflix right now. It's great stuff. Code Geass was one of those animes that, like, rare to see, was dubbed all the way through to its ending.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Was that good?
Alright, what else do we got here? Pristine says, well, actually, no, Buckin5 wants to know what we would do in a zombie outbreak.
Before I
What's
say
our
anything,
zombie plan?
4 minutes before the end of the stream, 4 minutes, any last minutes, comment, question, or concerns, blah, 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 do that, whatever. Now, I would be back in California making zombie plans because I love zombie movies and it's just fun. I also even have a zombie survival apocalypse book that actually had some informative stuff on it on how hunting works. But
here's my question. How aggro are the zombies? How smart, how aggressive are they?
That's why we have different classes of zombies. Like, there's the ones that are just like sprinters, or are they slow moving because of rigor mortis? You know?
Yeah, are we dealing with like a classic Night of the Living Dead type of zombie that just kind of shambles, or are we dealing with like Left 4 Dead type of zombies where there's like a million different types and like there's only 20 people left on the planet or something like that?
Yeah. My thing was always like, me and my friend would kind of make a plan. Me and my mom would make a plan too, because I would read that book to my mom when she was dropping me off at college, and she liked to kind of formulate plans with me too. We were always like, we should go up to the mountains or someplace cold, where like, if it was like a rigor mortis zombie, the cold would make it even harder for them to move, and we'd have to have a store of food, or wait till springtime to like harvest food and keep food that we could preserve and stuff like that. And we also be like, we have to use my brother Alexander, who's in the military, as an informant. So if the government knows that there's zombies and they're not telling us, he's just supposed to tell us, do I need a shotgun right now?
Most likely in a zombie outbreak situation, I mean, most likely we're just gonna die. Like,
yeah, so I'd just kill myself.
Like if there's hordes of them and they can move fast and they sneak up on you, there's a million questions of what kind of zombies we're dealing with and what kind of variety we're dealing with. If you
But like,
rely on melee for self-defense, you've got to get close, and now you've got a much higher chance of getting surrounded and infected. If you rely on projectiles, you have a limited supply of ammunition, and projectile weapons are actually very heavy to carry, and you've got to be really good and make every shot count. Your best bet would be to be able to hide in a completely sealed off underground bunker that is self-sustaining with its own, ecosystem and greenhouse underground to grow your vegetables and maybe even livestock if you can. And that's really only going to last for a little bit too. And you're likely to get cabin fever in that situation and go crazy. And it's also impossible to maintain something like that. We've actually done experiments to see if we could have a biodome where we just live in, and it's self-sustaining, and it's impossible to make. So more likely than not, we would just die. You can try to survive for longer, but I'm pretty sure the odds are against us. I have some training in tactics, and combat and self-defense and a little bit of survival, but I'm certainly not any better than your average Boy Scout. So
isn't there going to be a zombie movie on how Boy Scouts survive the zombie apocalypse?
Yeah, odds are the people in the densely populated cities, which is just about everywhere, would be absolutely screwed. And all that would be left within a week would be the population of Middle America. The most remote sections of the country would be there. Everybody would be trying to flood there to get away from the zombies and end up taking the zombies with them. It would just, it would not end well. And that's not even factoring flying. People just getting on planes and being across the country, across the world in a matter of hours. People are going to get stuck on planes with zombies and not even realize it. I'm fine getting on the plane. 2 hours later, I'm a freaking zombie.
And with that, we're out of time. What a depressing note to end on. We're all just gonna
We're all
die.
gonna die of zombie infections.
Why can't life be like the video games? Anyways, thank you everybody for showing up. Man, that time just flew by on this stream, I gotta say. We had a lot to talk about, a lot of points of interest, and we made good progress on this scarf. That's very important. I've been wanting to make progress on that scarf. So, with that, thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Bronny. Thank you, Sweetie. May her health improve.
Dreyfus wants to talk to you after the stream. I don't know if you're up for that or...
Who's that?
The guy that we suspect might be your nephew.
Oh yeah, honey, just call me on my cell phone.
And sweetie, we gotta hang and do some strategizing for the next couple of weeks here.
Okay.
Okie dokie Loki. And with that, I end the stream. Thank you everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!